Hello everybody. In this Python tutorial we're going to go over comprehensions. Common uses for comprehensions are to make new datasets where each element is the result of some operation applied to each member of another sequence or iterable, or to create a subsequence of those elements that satisfy a certain condition. Common comprehensions are list comprehensions, dictionary comprehensions, set comprehensions, and the similar generator expression, which technically is probably not a comprehension, but is similar in function and syntax. The syntax for a comprehension usually consists of the following. You declare a variable or expression, then you loop through a set of data, and then you return the updated data based on some applied operation or to satisfy a certain condition. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over some examples. Here we have our first example of a list comprehension, and in this example we want to double each element in a list. So the first thing we did is we declared a variable. We named it double list. We assigned it to our list comprehension, and in our comprehension here we declared our expression, which is some number I times 2. Okay, so then we use that expression and we say for I in, so we use a for loop, a range of numbers 1 through 5. And remember, in a range of numbers, this value is the start and this is the stop, and the stop goes up to but not including that number. So this will be a range of numbers from 1 to 5. And we probably actually don't need this list right here, but let's go ahead and run this and show you what we get, and then we can remove that list. So basically what this comprehension should do is take the range of numbers here 1 through 5 and double them. Okay, so you can see over here in our console, each of those numbers in the range 1 through 5 have been doubled. So 1 became 2, 2 became 4, 3 became 6, and so on. Now let's go ahead and see if we can remove this list and if this works the same. Okay, it appears to work the same. We should be good to go. Moving on, in this example we're going to take the square root of each element in a list. So we've declared our list here, and here we have created our comprehension. We create our variable name, square root, and here is our comprehension. Okay, so our expression is this math.square, and we've used the math library that we imported here. And then we used a dot to access the square root function, and then we put in our variable I. And then we use our for loop here to loop through each element in list 1. So this comprehension should return the square root for each element in list 1, 4, 9, and 16. Let's select it and run it. And you can see over here in the console, the square root of 4 is 2, the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 16 is 4. Next, let's create a comprehension that returns the evens in a range of numbers. Okay, we created a variable, gave it the name evens, assigned our list comprehension here, and you can see we declared our variable or expression I. We use I in a for loop, for I in a range of numbers of 1 through 10. Then we added an if statement. So we said if I modulo 2 equals 0, which is the syntax that will tell us if a number is even or not. So if we select this and run it, we should get the even numbers out of a range of numbers 1 through 10. So we should get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so you can see over here in the console, we get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're good to go. Next, we want to create a comprehension that removes the vowels from this alphabet string here. So again, we created our variable, remove vowels, assigned our comprehension. Inside our comprehension, we create our variable or expression. Then we use a for loop. We say for I in the alphabet, which is this alphabet string here. Then we use an if statement, and we say if I not in this vowel string here, A, E, I, O, U. So what this should do is loop through each element of this alphabet string here, and if any of those elements are not vowels, A, E, I, O, U, it will return them. Let's select this and run it. And you can see over here in the console, what's returned here are all the letters in the alphabet that are not vowels. So the vowels A, E, I, O, and U have been removed. Okay, so for our last example, we're going to create a dictionary comprehension that will create a data set of key value pairs with degree measurements and the equivalent of those degrees in radians. Okay, so here we have a list of degrees going from 0 to 360, incrementing by 15. And what we want to do is return all of these degrees in dictionary key value form, with the key being the degrees and then the value being the equivalent of those degrees degrees and radians. So we've created our dictionary comprehension here. We created our variable name, degrees to radians, assigned our dictionary comprehension. Inside the dictionary comprehension, we declare our dictionary expression, which is here. We use an I and then a colon, and this will be the degrees. After the colon will be the radians. And to get the radians, we just take the degrees times pi divided by 180. Okay, so then we use a for loop to loop through the degrees list. And if we just stop there and print that out, it will print out the degrees, radians, key value pairs, but they won't be in any type of order. And you typically don't sort a dictionary. However, in this case, let's go ahead and sort it so we can see our degrees and radians values in some type of order. And in order to do that, we use a for loop. And we say for I in, we use the sorted function. We put in our comprehension, degrees to radians, and then to display that, we use a print, and this I right here will give us the key or the degrees. Then we use a colon, and then this syntax here, degrees to radians, and then we put I in the square brackets. That will give us the value or the radians. Okay, so let's go ahead and select all this and run it. And you can see here, we have 0 through 360 incremented by 15, and these values in this column here are the degrees, and the colon, and then these values here are the equivalent of those degrees in radians. Okay, so that's all we have for Python comprehensions. We will be doing many more Python tutorials in the near future. Join us for those, and we'll see you next time.